I think it's the cost of conference, you know.
When did you teach the rest?
WMCC. WMCC number 2. WMCC. Say, this is the additional capital. WMCC. We had done WACC. This is the additional capital. The additional capital. Used to finance new projects. Used to finance new projects. Therefore, it has flotation costs. It has flotation costs. It has flotation costs. Marginal weights are used. Marginal weights are used in calculating WMCC. Marginal weights are used in calculating WMCC. Marginal weights are proportions. Of each capital components that will be raised. Operating earnings, costs of ordinary shares, weight of retained earnings, weight of ordinary shares. December. So in some cases, the farm has already obtained, in some cases the firm has already obtained optimal structure. Optimal structure. Any new capital will therefore be raised as per the optimal structure. As per the optimal structure. December 2021 question 3. December 2021 question 3. December 2021 question 3.
Hi.
Is what December 2021 question 3. Kampuni inajiita Gavazi Limited. Yeah. Gavazi Limited. Tusomee Gavazi Limited.
It's a firm that operates in the textile industry. Over the last 5 years, the firm has experienced deep competition that has significantly reduced its turnover. In order to remain profitable, the firm management is considering diversifying its operation. This activity will require additional financing of 50 million shillings. The firm's existing capital structure is given as follows: share capital, reserve, 11% debenture, 13% preferred share. Additional information: number 1, the firm's existing capital structure is considered to be optimal. Number 2, the firm expects to raise 5 million shillings from internal resources in order to finance this diversification activity. However, new shares will be issued at 2 shillings per share. The incur amortization of 2 shillings per share. 3, the most recent dividend paid by the company was 2.5 shillings per share, which is expected to grow at a constant rate of 5% per annum in perpetuity. Number 4, new 12% redeemable debentures will be issued at 110 shillings each. A flotation cost of 15 shillings per unit will be incurred. The par value of each unit is 100 shillings, and the debentures will have a maturity period of 10 years. Number 5, new 14% irredeemable preferred shares will be issued at 90 shillings per share. The par value of each irredeemable preferred share is 100 shillings. Number 6, the corporation tax rate applicable is 30%. Where number 1, the cost of ordinary share capital. Number 2, the cost of retained profits. Number 3, after tax cost of new 12% venture capital. Number 4, cost of new 14% preferred share capital. And lastly, weighted marginal cost of capital.
We start by getting the cost of ordinary what? Share capital. That does not differ from what we did or not last time. We say about ordinary shares. Sawa. Since denotes when you have to see whether it is growing. Is it growing? They are expected to grow at a constant rate of how much? I denote when there is flotation you subtracted. That's what? Growth. Then all that you multiply by what? So essentially, this formula is a formula for cost of equity. Yeah? This is a cost of equity. That is the cost of equity. So ordinary shares will normally have what? Flotation cost, but retained earnings don't have. Now remember we say equity is made up of retained earnings and what? Ordinary shares. All right. So the same formula you use for equity is the one you use for what? Ordinary shares. So the dividend is just free. You go 2.5. Your growth rate on SMI is how much? Note number 3. The most recent dividend paid is 2.5, and it is expected to grow at a rate of 5% into divided by P0 means the what? The price, the market price, and they are saying how the value of the shares will be issued at how much? 32. Note number 2, and we incur flotation cost of how much? 0.0. And all that you multiply by what? Give me your answer. Give me your answer. The answer is what I call answer. Give me that answer, class. Give me that answer. How much? How much is your cost of ordinary shares? 13.75. Sorry, 13.75%. The next one, wanasema the cost of retained profits, which is given by KRI. So this is also equity. So the same formula for equity applies, but retained earnings do not have what? Flotation cost. So you can call P0 1 plus G P0 plus G. Then all that you multiply by what? 100. So now, B0 is 2.5. 1 plus 0.0 divided by what? 32. No flotation cost, plus 0.0. All that you multiply by what? 100. 13.2%. Sawa. Part 3 wanasema is equals to part 3 of that question required. They're asking for the after-tax cost of new 12% what? Debenture. And they were saying note number 4, new 12% redeemable debentures will be issued at 110. A flotation cost of 15 per unit will be incurred. The par value of each unit is 100, and debentures will have a maturity period of how much? 10 years. Now we say debentures are either redeemable or irredeemable. So in this case, these are redeemable because they have what? Maturity. No, they have maturity, not flotation. They have maturity period. So let's say this is your plus. You already have example in your notes. Be what? Be n minus b naught. Divided by n. Be n plus b naught. Then that you divide by what? 2. That was billions of tax.
Hey, Mario.
Then that times what? 100. We're using that formula because those are redeemable. They have a maturity what? Period. The interest is normally a percentage of your par value. That is what we say. And what are they saying on par value? The new 12% redeemable debentures will be issued at a cost of 110. A flotation cost of 15 will be incurred. The par value of each unit is how much? So it is 12% of what? 100. That is 12. The n inamaanisha nini? Bn ilikuwa nani? The power value there. Be not the market price. Or the issue price, which is 110 minus flotation cost of how much? 15. Yeah. Yes. So remember, it should be net flotation cost there. So how much is that? 85. 95. All right. So say the cost of debt will be 12 plus minus 95. And how many years maturity? 10 years. 100 plus 19 divided by 2. Your tax is how much? 30%. Note number 6, corporation tax is 30%. And times 100. How much is it? How much? 8.97. 8.97. Sama. The next part, what is the name? Which approximately 14%. Which is number. What's the number? AP. We say that is AP, yeah? And what did we say? We again see whether it is redeemable or irredeemable. Let's confirm. Note number 5. New 14% irredeemable preference shares will be issued at 90. That's the issue price. The value of each irredeemable preference share is how much? This is irredeemable. Is it irredeemable? So it does not have a maturity period. So what's the formula? What's the formula for irredeemable preference shares? And what did? What? Times 100. It is your interest, which will be 14% of par value. The par value was 100. Yes, that is 14 million. P naught is the issue price, which is how much? 90. Don't have a flotation cost. In case you did, you would have subtracted it. Say, KP therefore will be this is 14 divided by 90 times how much is that? Okay. 10.6 watts percent. So those are the normal. Cost of what? Right. So the next part of that question is saying the weighted marginal cost of what? Capital. The weighted marginal cost of capital is what I want us to tackle. Right. WMCC, yeah, we say it is a weight of retained earnings times cost of retained earnings plus weight of ordinary shares times cost of ordinary shares plus weight of debt times cost of debt plus weight of preference shares times cost of preference what? Shares. Already we have determined the cost of retained earnings, cost of ordinary shares, cost of what? Debt and cost of preference shares. So we need to get down the weights. And the weights we use in this case, we refer to them as what? Marginal weights. So we use marginal what? Weights. Remember, using WACC to December, you use what? Book value weights, we use what? Market weights. We say the most preferred is market weights, unless they tell you to use book value. But in this case, your weights here is normally what? Marginal weights. Marginal weights here means any what? Any weights or the weight of new additional what? Capital. Remember we see WMCC is used when you raise new what? Capital, when you're raising new capital. So the weights there are what we refer to as marginal what? Weights. So in this case, what you do, you must maintain the same capital what? Structure. And the fund's existing capital structure is given as follows. So you have ordinary shares of 60%, You have what? Reserves of 10%, debentures of or debt of 20%, and preference shares of how much? 10%. Now, how much is hivyo? Sinikuli? Or 10,000 rather. So the 60,000, 10,000, 20,000, and 10,000. So you want to maintain that optimal capital what? You want to maintain optimal capital structure of how much? The weight is there. Because I was saying somewhere, the existing capital structure, and even not number one, the firm's existing capital structure is considered to be optimal. So even when they want, there is that new capital, the structure should still be the same. So we say, the ordinary shares structure here. The weight should be 60% divided by 100, which is 0.6. Now, reserves of retained earnings, will be how much? 10 over who? Which is 0.1. And remember, those two are the ones that give you what? Equity. Then debt, which is given by debenture, will be 20% of what? Which is 0.2. Then the next one is preference shares, which will be how? 10 over, which is 0.1. So when they raise that capital, or when they raise capital, this is how they should raise it at. But we must identify how much amount is being done what? Raised. The amount to do what? Raised. In the introduction statement, over the last 5 years, firm has experienced steep competition. That has significantly reduced its turnover. In order to remain profitable, the firm's management is considering diversifying its operations. This will require additional financing of how much? Of 15 million. Of 15 million. So when you want to know the amount to raise, from any source of what? Capital. Say debt, you're going to raise 0.2. This is debt. Debt 0.2, but you want to raise how much? 50 million. Reference, a proportion is 0.1 times 50 million. That is fine. That is this 10. Yes. Then your equity will be, this is equity 0.7. 0.7 times what? Times 50 million, which is how much? 35 million. But you know, equity is equal to retained earnings plus who? Plus who? Ordinary shares. Your total equity is 35 million is equals to, they were saying, this is what they were saying. Note number 2. Note number 2. The firm expects to raise 5 million from internal what? So internal sources are retained earnings, which will be how much? 5 million. So therefore that means your ordinary shares will be how much? 30 million. Are we clear? Yes, so you say your equity will be 35 million, which is 70% of 50 million. But you know equity is retained earnings and ordinary what? Share. So you say that if you're raising 35 million and out of that 35 million, retained earnings is 5 million. What is ordinary share? It should be that you want. Should be 30 million. Sawa? Hapo sawa? So we're not asked you identify the amount to be raised from external sources there. Yes. But I'm not, but definitely they do what? They ask. That is how you deal with what? With that. Sawa? All right. So let's get your what? Your WMCC. Can we get our WMCC now? All right. And we know it is the cost of retained earnings times what have you read? Okay. So here, your new weight will be retained earnings is 5. So WMCC. WMCC will therefore be the weight of retained earnings. And the weight should be you're raising how much? 5 from retained earnings. You divide by the total amount to raise, which is how much? 50 million there. So remember we use market and not marginal weights. And you said marginal weights are the weights of the amount to be raised. Times your cost of retained earnings, which was how much? The cost of retained earnings was how much? 13.2. Plus the weight of ordinary shares. The ordinary shares you're raising how much? 30 million. Out of a possible how much? 50 million. Times the cost of ordinary shares, how much? Cost of ordinary shares, 10.7%. Plus weight of data. Data you're raising how much? 10 million. Out of a possible 50 million times the cost of debt is how much? 8.97 plus the cost of preference shares, which is 5 million. Divide by 50 million times the cost of preference shares, which is how much? 15.6%. So what's the WMCC? Okay. 12.89. Which is the cost of what? Sawa. November 2017. November 2017. November 2017. Question 2B. Question 3B. 3, yeah? All right.
Robotics Limited is planning to build a business model. The project will cost 108 million shillings. The firm's current optimal capital structure is as follows: 29 shares, 10 shillings per value, 408,000, 10% debt, and 100 per value, 384, now retain profit, and 6 additional information. The firm will issue a new 2% debenture, 120 shillings each, with a projected cost of 10 shillings per unit. The value of each debenture is 100 shillings. Number 2, new ordinary shares will be issued at the current market price of 30 shillings each, with a projected cost of 5 shillings per share. Number 3, the most recent dividend paid by the company was 5 shillings per share. Number 4, the dividend is expected to grow at a rate of 5% per annum in perpetuity. Number 5, the firm expects to retain 18 million shillings to finance this investment. Lastly, the corporate tax rate is 10% required. The amount should be raised from equity capital if the capital structure is to remain unchanged. Number 2, the number of ordinary shares the company should issue to raise the desired external equity capital. Number 3, the firm's weighted maximum cost of capital.
So number 1, the amount to do what? To raise from equity. Raise from who? Equity. So and we know that we've said and insisted your equity is made up of what? Retained earnings and ordinary shares. So in this case, they have given you something on retained profit. That means, and they have also told you something on retained earnings. The capital structure you said should be same. So we start by getting our weights or the proportion. So you say the weight of equity would be for 80,000, which represents who? Ordinary shares, plus retained earnings, which is how much? 96,000. You divide all that by what? 60,000. How much is that amount? 0. 0.6, sawa. So let me simplify this for you. Let me simplify it this way. Simplify kidogo. I think we start with ordinary shares. Let's start with ordinary shares. So that it's easier, so that we don't confuse you. For 80,000 divided by 960 years. Retained profits. Is 0.12, 0.5. So that your total equity is 0.6. So your equity amount will be the proportion, which is 0.6. You multiply by the amount you want to raise, which will be 80 million. Yes. So how much is that in shillings? So your total equity will be 108 million. The number of ordinary shares. The number of ordinary shares the company should issue to raise the desired external equity capital. So let's first determine the amount to raise from ordinary shares. Okay? We know that number of ordinary shares. To raise it, that is what they are asking. Okay? Let's first identify the amount that ordinary shares will do what raise. You know that your equity is equal to what? Ordinary shares plus who? Plus retained earnings. This your equity, we have said you're raising 108 million. Your internal resources wanasema ni ngapi? Note number 5. Number 5. The firm expects to retain 18 million to finance. 18 million plus. How much is your ordinary shares now? So 90 million plus 18. So internal resources we've said means retained earnings, external sources means ordinary shares. But they're not asking us only for the amount to raise, they're asking us for the number of shares to do what? To issue. Yeah. When you issue shares, you're raising how much? 90 million. The question is, how many shares will you do what? Issue. So the number of shares. The number of shares. You take 90 million, you divide by the issue price, and not what they say. The same on ordinary shares. Note number 2. The new ordinary shares will be issued at a market price of 30 with a flotation cost of how much? 5. So we write here. Amount to raise. Then you divide by what? Issue price. Issue price net of flotation cost. It should be net flotation what? Costs. Net flotation cost. Okay. So you raise 90 million. But each share you're issuing at how much? Each share you're issuing at how much? That. Minus the flotation cost of how many shares will you issue? How much?
3,600,000.
So you have to issue 3,600,000 watts shares. So to raise 90 million, you need to issue 3.6 million watts shares. How about goes up? Right. As to that question, as to part three, they're asking for WMCC.
Yes.
But you know, for you to get WMCC, you need to get your weights, you need to get your cost. Yeah. So you can start by getting the cost of what? Reserves. So reserves are either have constant dividends or have growing what? Dividends. So what are they seeing on retained earnings? Or are the dividends growing? Or they are constant? Note number 4.
Yes.
And expected to grow, right? So we say it is D 1 plus divided by naught minus plus G. Remember I told you flotation cost na hii haina flotation cost. Because it is retained what? Earnings. Because it is retained earnings. Flotation cost will only be incurred for ordinary shares, for debt, and for preference shares. But retained earnings do not have what? Flotation cost. Don't let that in. Right. Do not have flotation costs. Do not have flotation cost. The dividend, the most recent dividend is 5. So 1 plus growth. The growth in perpetuity is how much? 0.05. Divided by what are you issuing? You are issuing each at how much? That's it. That's it. No flotation. Times 100. You got it. Two point 5%. Okay. Ordinary shares. A naught 1 plus G. G naught minus ukweli times five 0.05 divided by that. A flotation cost is how much? 5. And a flotation cost of 5? 0.05 is 100. Yeah, note number 2. With a flotation cost of 5 per share. And 6 and we had also debts now. Note number 1. The firm will issue a new 15% debenture at 120 with the production cost of 10. So the value of each debenture is what? So this one, debt we say it is either redeemable or irredeemable. So this one is what? Irredeemable. So B naught minus flotation times 1 minus t. Then all that times what? 100. Yes, we say rotational cost is used when you're getting WNCC or when you're issuing new what? Shares. And WNCC is when you're issuing new shares. Sawa, lazima utoe rotation. Ni kwa WNCC we don't incur rotation. Your interest in ngapi? 15% of what? Per value. See now? 100. So that is 15. That is 15. We not in ngapi? The issue price is 120. Yes. Minus uploadation cost of how much? 10, eh? That in total is 110. Yeah. So say the cost of debt will be 10. This is 1 minus 0.30%. Then we'll find about this one. Now the next thing we have to get our weights, our market weights. But we know if the structure is optimal, the weights do not change. So, but the weights you use are marginal weights when you're using WNCC. The marginal weights are the weights from issuing or from the amount you want to raise from issuing new capital. So, the amount you raise from issuing new capital. So let's see the weight. All right, I hope you have that. You have that. Your equity 90, 18 minutes. Let's get the amount to raise from who? Debt. You didn't calculate the amount to raise from debt. From debt. And they were saying what? The debt is 384. As per the structure syllabus. Yeah. So the quote 384,000 divided by the total 960. So now, but you want to raise a total of how much? 180 million. So how much is that? So that's going to be right. Yeah. Let's get to WNCC. Say the weight of retained earnings, you paid 18 million out of a possible how much? 180 times the cost of retained earnings, which was 22.5, plus the weight of ordinary shares. You're raising 90 million from ordinary shares. Out of a possible how much? 180 million times the cost of ordinary shares, which is how much? 26% plus the weight of debt, which is 72 million out of a possible how much? 180 million times the cost of debt, which is found is 9.5. Is that 9.5? Yes, 9.5. Zero. So after that, go to the next one. Any question? Any question? What is what they intend to say? Then when you go, if you find a question they have not only on retained earnings or reserves, do not get the cost of capital for reserves or retained earnings. You only calculate it if they have told you it is being issued or it is in the optimal structure. So if you go to a question and you find they have not given you, don't calculate the reserves. But when they tell you they are raising, remember, those are retained earnings from internal sources there. So remember to calculate it. Right, so let's go to a new topic. Valuation of securities. Valuation of securities. Valuation of securities. Valuation of securities. Say,
I have a question.
yes, ask.
There was this April 2022 question 3C. I just wanted you to like help me how to go about note 3.
Just a minute, just a minute. Can you repeat your question kindly?
Yeah, I'm saying if you can help me go about note 3 of question 3C of April 2022.
April 2022 question 3C, just a minute. Question 3C, we are there.
So they are saying the bonds are redeemable at a 5% premium to their normal value.
Nominal value is the par value.
That's okay, but what about this 5% premium?
Oh, the premium means they are being redeemed at a higher price. They're saying the 7% bonds are redeemable at a premium of 5% to their nominal value of 100 and have an X interest market value of 104.5. Now when you say redeemable, yeah? Oh. So your interest here will be 7% of 100. Your redemption value will be 5%. And what times 100? And have an X interest market value of 104. So this should be 104.5. Redeemed at into 5% of what? Of 100. The premium. Then the price. That's how you deal with that premium. That's how you deal with that premium.
Thank you.
Very good. Then go to valuation of securities. Valuation of securities. Valuation of securities. Or valuation models. Valuation of securities or valuation models. Security or valuation models. Valuation models. We say this is the process of determining. Is the process of determining the value or worth. The value or worth of a security. The value or worth of a security. The reasons of value include. The reasons of value include. Number one, to determine the price at which. Determine the price at which securities will be acquired or sold. Price at which securities will be acquired or sold. Number two, where securities are used as collateral. Used as collateral. Used as collateral. For loans, as collateral for loans. Number three, for business combinations such as mergers. Business combinations such as mergers. Next. When the company wants to issue shares, the public wants to issue shares to the public. When the company wants to sell part of his holdings. When the company wants to sell part of its holdings in subsidiary. In subsidiary. Valuation of ordinary shares. The valuation of ordinary shares. Valuation of ordinary shares. Number one. Dividends valuation model or Gordon's valuation model. Same. It states that value of an ordinary share. It states that value of an ordinary share. States that value of an ordinary share will be the present value of dividends. Will be present value of dividends expected from the shares. Present value of dividends expected from shares. And so you have number A. Ordinary shares with zero growth. Zero growth in dividends. Growth in dividends. Zero growth in dividends. So naught is equals to B naught divided by KE. Divided by KE. Naught is the intrinsic value. It's a dividend. Number two. Home administration. Home administration. Go to May 2021, question 1C. May 2021, question 1C. May 2021, question 1C. So,
Is very fully for valuing financial assets. House limited extent to in 5.4 shillings per share in 1 year's time. Additional information. The company's dividend payout rate is 6%. The shareholders required rate of return is 15%. Dividends have been grown at a constant rate in the for the company's share that currently trading at 64.5 shillings per share at the securities exchange. Required. Advise and investor who owns share in hand limited whether to buy more share or to sell the share.
Right. So they are saying advise an investor who holds shares in hand whether to buy more shares or to sell the what? Shares. Right. The same as Limited expects to pay a dividend of 5.4 per share in 1 year's what? Time. Apart from that, on the same, the shareholders required the company dividend payout ratio is 60%. The shareholders required rate of return is 15%. And the dividends have been growing. Right. So let's analyze what has been given. The first statement that they expect to pay a dividend of 5.4. That is a future what? Dividend. So unasema hiyo ni D1, unasema hiyo ni 5.4. Denote is normally dividend just paid or the current dividend per share. Sawa? The next statement, the company's dividend payout ratio. So your payout ratio wanasema ni ngapi? 60%. Now, the shareholders required rate of return ni ngapi? Cost of capital or the minimum required rate of return ni ngapi? 15%. Sawa? So when they give the payout ratio and they give you the cost of equity or required rate, they want you to get your what? They want you to get your what? They want you to get what? They want you to get growth rate. In summer. So you say your growth rate will be your retention ratio. You multiply by return on what? Return on equity. Your retention ratio, I'm going to do away with this. Your retention ratio, your retention what? Ratio is given by 1 minus payout ratio, which is 0.4. That is the retention ratio. Times your return on equity, which is how much? 15%. So how much is your growth rate? How much is your growth rate? How much is your growth rate? How much? 0.09. Kuna that is okay. Tuone hapa wamesema ni ngapi? 6%. Kuna mwingine anapanda 6%. So confirm. It's 60% of 15. And hii ni 0 for the payout ratio hii ni 0.6, so hii ni 0.6. So the payout ratio of 60%, so this should be 0.6. So I make a 0.6. Sorry. 6%, eh? 6. So that is your growth rate, eh? So we have it will be, so say the intrinsic value or the value of that share will be 5.1 divided by the cost of equity which tumepata ni nini? 15 minus what? 6. This is percentage, 0 point, that is 0 point. What are the percentages? 0.06, 6% is 0.06 now. Yeah. The you don't put it on the result. Not ignore the what? The percent 0.15 minus 0.0. How much? 60 shillings. 60 per share. Per share, so no. Yes. So 60 shillings per share. Now they're saying somewhere, the company's shares are currently trading at 64.45 at the securities world exchange. So the question is, are they correctly valued or are they undervalued? So they're selling at 64.5, but they should be valued at how much? 60. So that means they are overvalued. So this have been the market price. Tumepata ni ngapi? 64.5. So these ones have been overvalued because the market price is higher than the intrinsic value. So when the market price is higher than the intrinsic value, they are overpriced. So they are also asking, advise an investor on whether to buy the shares or to sell. If you go to buy, you will buy at how much? 64 instead of how much? 60. So that means you have to, it will be more expensive to you. But if you sell, you will sell at how much? 64 instead of how much? 60. So therefore you earn a profit of how much? 4. So you tell them to do what? Sell shares. Tell them to sell shares when it is overvalued. We only buy shares. Yeah. When you buy shares that are undervalued. You sell if they are overvalued. So you buy when they are undervalued. Sell if they are overvalued. So that is why we are telling them to do what? Sell. That. December 2021 question 1 day. December 2021 question 1 day.
The following data was exploited and financial records of time and reports. And it's volumes and tax 100 million. Dividend rate of 20%. Number of outstanding ordinary shares 100 million. Equity capitalization rate 15%. Return on investment 12%. Corporate tax rate is 30% required. The value of Farajas Limited ordinary share using the dollar market.
You're right. So the value using Gordon's what? Model. They have given you the earnings for interest and tax, the dividend payout ratio, the number of ordinary shares, the equity capitalization ratio, the return on investment, and the corporate what? So we know that using dividend or using Gordon's method of valuation of dividend valuation model, you say that P naught is given by D naught 1 plus G.
Yes.
Divided by because 1 plus G equal here. If it is, was this one growing or not growing further? Was it growing? How do you know it is growing? How do you know it is growing? How do you know it is growing? If they keep information on payout ratio, they give you something on what? Return on investment or equity. Lazima inafanya nini? Ina grow. Because the growth you said is retention ratio and return on equity. So in this case, ours is doing what? Growing. So sour. All right, let's identify how it is doing what? Growing. Now, your growth rates will the growth rates. We know it is your retention what? That is your retention what? Ratio. You multiply by your return on investment or equity. Your payout ratio is 40%. So your retention ratio is 1 minus 0.4. Yeah. Retention ratio, remember we said is payout is 1 minus payout ratio. So, and here it is. Retention ratio is 1 minus payout ratio. So these ones have given you a payout ratio of 40%. So the retention ratio must be 1 minus 40%, which is 60%. Times your return on equity or return on investment, which is how much? Which is how much? 12%. So growth in that hapo. The group there.
So the return on investment is the same as return on equity.
Yes, the return on investment is the same as return on equity. 7.2%. Sawa. KE ni capitalization what? Rate. Equity capitalization rate ni ngapi? 15%. So here we go. KE. Sino? Growth tumepata, we need the not. Have they given you the dividend? Have they seen the dividend was this much? They say that? Have they said anything? 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 Nothing. All right. So what we do, let's get the earnings per share. Let's start by getting the what? Earnings per share. So let's say computation of dividend. D notes. So we start by getting our EPS, our earnings after tax. But per share. So the profit after tax, walikuwa before 100 no, before tax, 400 million, but you want it after tax, so unasema 1 minus 0.3. So you divide that by the number of ordinary what? By the number of ordinary what? Shareholders. And the number of ordinary shareholders ni ngapi? 100 million. 100 million. Remember, earnings per share is given by profit after tax divided by number of ordinary. That is what you got. Sawa? So ni ngapi? Two point eight. 2.8. So if you want your dividend, you say it is your payout ratio. You multiply by your EP, ndio hii hapa. Or your dividend per share. Your dividend per share will be payout ratio times EPS. So this is also known as dividend per share. So it should be your payout ratio was 40%. Yes. Times EPS of 2 points. How much is that? So P naught, say 1.121 plus growth rate will equal 0.072. 0.1. So what was they were saying the value of hardness in this case, they have not told us the current market price. So we don't know whether it is overvalued or it is undervalued. But you know the intrinsic value is 15.3. So go to November 2018 question. November 2018 question. What is that? November 2018. Question 2, right? November 2018 question to see.
The earnings per share, dividend and dividend per share, that of Maraba Limited over the last 5 years and provided dividend per share and additional information. Prospective investors considering buying the shares of this company, which are currently selling at 55 shillings each as a securities exchange. Number 2, the investors require retirement spending require advise the investor on whether to buy the shares of Maraba Limited use God or small.
This is good on that. Say V naught is equal to V naught 1 plus G E minus Do you know what is a dividend just paid? Wamekupea dividend just paid. Ngapi? 1.8. No. Your growth rate is one. You have the growth rate. When they give you dividend, different prices per share, yeah, like they have done here from 20,000 to 21. So this is the formula we used to use to calculate growth rate. It's simply n minus 1. Test dividend divided by earliest what? Dividend minus 1, then times what? 100. The latest dividend in 2017, you got 1.8. 1.8 divided by the earliest is 1. Okay. Minus 1 there. Now, the number of years in Gabi. So those are 4. Because it's time from 1 year to there. So those must be 4 years. Then all that you multiply by what? 100. So you're taking the fourth root of 1.18. You remember how to get the fourth root? This one plus 4, then shift 1.8 and minus 1 times 100. So 1.8 divided by 1.8 is simply 1.8. Yes, then the fourth root 4 shifts down. How much? 3.82. So we have everything. How much is your cost of equity or your cost? Your minimum required rate of return? 20%. Yeah, 20%. So you say the intrinsic value will be 1.1 plus 0.1580 divided by KE and 0.2 minus 0.158. How much is that? Sorry, 9.87. Let's see whether it is overvalued or undervalued. And we said you compare that with the market what price. The same, a prospective investor is considering buying the shares of this company, which are currently selling at how much? 5. So the current market price is how much? 15. So if you go to buy, an investor is contemplating to invest there. They'll buy at how much? 55. But it should be valued at how much? So therefore it has been done what? Overvalued. Yeah. So you tell them not to do what? 55. Not to buy. Then the question is asking, yeah, advice on whether to buy the shares. So we say we only buy the shares if they are undervalued, not overvalued. You only sell the shares if they are overvalued. So if this guy was selling now, you would have told him to sell because he'll sell at 55. But because now he's being asked to buy or he's contemplating buying, You tell him not to buy because he'll buy at, which is not the correct price, which is the overvalued, yeah? Yes. Let's start, eh? See, eh? See, dividend. Or good of dividend, what? Or ordinary shares with super, no growth. Regular. Or. Normal growth. Abnormal growth or dividends. Right, but I think we'll pick it up again maybe over the weekend or time when you're going to be told by Walimu. I will inform you now in advance. But